Hey everyone, welcome. Today, we're going to take one of the most foundational reading standards out there, just knowing the alphabet, and turn it into a super clear, totally actionable lesson that you can use in your classroom pretty much tomorrow. Okay, let's dive right in.
It's the big question, isn't it? The one every teacher has. You see the standard, you read the description, but then what? How do you actually bring that thing to life for your students? Well, that's exactly what we're going to build together today. A complete blueprint to get you from that standard all the way to student mastery.
We're going to follow a really simple 5-part plan. First, we'll unpack the standard so we're crystal clear on our goal. Then, we'll plan with some evidence, model the exact teaching routine, talk about how to differentiate for all your learners, and finally, how to assess for real mastery. It's a solid path to a great lesson.
All right, first things first. Before we can even think about teaching something, we have to know exactly where we're going. What does it really look like for a student to master this standard?
So, what's our end goal? It all boils down to this really simple, kid-friendly I can statement. I can name and find all the capital and lowercase letters. And yeah, for those of you tracking the codes, this is standard K-2.F.CP.4. But honestly, the most important thing is that every single kid in your room knows that this is their mission for the day. But you know what does mastery actually look like in practice? That is where our success criteria come into play. This is our checklist. We're not just looking for them to get it right. We're looking for speed and accuracy. Can they match up the partners? Like a big A to a little a? Can they spot a specific letter in a whole sea of other letters? Can they sort them into piles? When a student can do all of this, we know for sure they've got it.
Okay, so we know our destination. Now, let's map out the route. And for that, we're going to turn to this amazing tool called the evidence document. Think of this as your guide that spells out exactly what counts as meeting the standard. It just takes all the guesswork out of it.
And here's why this document is just so incredibly valuable. It turns those success criteria we just talked about into real, actual classroom moments. It literally gives us the prompt to say to a student and then tells us what a correct response looks and sounds like. So this isn't about, guessing if a student gets it. It's about having a clear way to find out for sure. Now this is so critical. You see a perfect example of what meeting the standard looks like. But look at the other side. That's where the real teaching happens. This document helps us anticipate common errors like mixing up letters that look similar, like T and F. Knowing what wrong looks like is just as important as knowing what right looks like because it tells us exactly what we need to teach next.
So, our evidence document is amazing at helping us spot the problem. But then, how do we fix it? That's where our next tool comes into play, the strategy card. If the evidence document is the diagnosis, the strategy card is the cure. It gives us the exact instructional moves to correct that misconception and teach the skill the right way.
All right, we're on to Section 3, Modeling the Routine. We've done our planning, we know the common pitfalls. Now, it's time to teach. Let's bring that strategy card to life.
This strategy card is our playbook. Seriously. It's not just a list of good ideas, it gives us the precise, research-backed steps for explicit instruction that's designed to make the learning really stick.
The routine itself is a really simple but powerful 3-step loop. First, we model the physical formation of the letter. Then, step 2, we explicitly teach the articulation, how their mouth should move to make the sound. And finally, we connect the two, saying the sound while writing the letter. That's what builds that crucial brain connection.
So, let's actually model it. For the I do part, our language has to be super direct. Watch me make the letter T. Down, then across. My turn. We always start our letters at the top. See that? We're thinking out loud and modeling the exact motor path they need to learn.
Next up, articulation. Now, I'll make the sound. Watch my mouth. T. My tongue taps right behind my teeth. We're making the invisible visible. Students have to see how the sound is formed, so their eyes need to be locked right on you.
And now we shift to we do. This is all about guided practice. Let's do it together. Skywrite with me. Pointers up, down, then across. Using something multisensory like skywriting gets their whole body involved. Say the sound with me. T. That choral response, that's our quick check. It tells us in a second who's with us. So what happens when a student makes a mistake, like starting their T from the bottom? We have a script for that too. It's not a big deal. It's a quick, positive redirect. Let's try that again. Watch me. Put your marker at the top, down, then across. It's precise, it's immediate, and it gets them back on track.
And finally, we get to you do. Students get their own whiteboards and markers and they practice. This is their shot at independent application. And what's our job? We're on our feet, circulating, watching, and giving that crucial in-the-moment feedback that really solidifies their learning.
But of course, we all know that no classroom has students who are all at the exact same level. So how do we take this powerful routine and adapt it to support every single one of our learners?
Well, our planning documents give us some fantastic options. For students who need a little more support, we can break out tactile materials like sand trays or even shaving cream so they can really feel the letter's shape. We can also pull them for a small group. And for those students who are ready for a challenge, we can have them hunt for the letter in books or play games to build their speed and fluency.
So, we've taught the lesson, we've differentiated. Now comes the most important question. Did they actually get it? It's time to collect the evidence.
The exit ticket is our best friend here. It is a fast, super low-stakes way to see what students learned. A simple prompt like, circle all the capital and lowercase t's on this page, gives us exactly the data we need without taking up a ton of time.
And this is where it all comes full circle. We don't just put a grade on the exit ticket. We hold it up right next to those success criteria we set at the very beginning. Does this student work match the evidence of mastery we were looking for? When the answer is yes, we know our teaching worked. This student has met the standard.
So there you have it, our complete blueprint. We unpacked the standard to get clear on the goal. We planned with the evidence document. We taught using that explicit routine from the strategy card. And we assessed, making sure to align our findings right back to the evidence.
Look, this isn't just theory. It's a practical, repeatable process you can use for excellent instruction, day in and day out. You have the blueprint now. So the only question left is, what letter are you going to teach tomorrow?